Coming up, we discuss how slow it is, Uber low acceptance rate warnings, AB5 updates, Natural Foods Convention, coronavirus, LAX updates, scammers, a refresher on Surge, and more. A special thanks to JT Legal Group. They can be reached by phone at 888-542-6351 or click the link at our website at kingofuber.com. From California, you're listening to the King of Uber podcast. This is episode 93. And here he is, the King of Uber, Johnny.
Hello. Thank you for listening to another podcast of the King of Uber. My name is Johnny. I'm with Dolphy. I'm with Lonnie. I almost forgot your name.
Wow.
I apologize for my unenthusiastic voice because it's dead.
Your voice is dead.
No, man, it's been so slow out there these days. I can't believe there's so many cars out there. They're everywhere.
Wow.
Did you look in the app? Did you see like 8 cars around you? Is that what you saw?
So, we've been getting those messages on Uber about, declining whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, if you decline rides, you may not get any more requests from us. No, I don't know. What's the exact, what's the wording they use?
I don't know, but I actually really think they're punishing me.
Why do you say that?
Oh, no, I sat this morning, I think for a good 40 minutes in Newport on the peninsula by myself. I declined 2 pings. And then I didn't get another one for like 30 minutes. And the only reason I got one 30 minutes later was because I was the only car around. But listen, I don't want to do these $2, $3 rides out there.
But Johnny, you're pissing off the algorithm.
Yeah,
you gotta let the algorithm get a few,
Yeah.
Be friendly with the algorithm.
I'm still not doing those cheap rides.
Yeah, I'm not saying
he refuses.
Okay, so I'm not saying go pick up like $2 to $3 rides that are 20 minutes away. If they're literally like right there, you can take that $2, $3 ride. Who knows? You might charm them into giving you a $5 tip.
Yeah, you never know.
Like I have charm.
You're right.
Exactly.
Never mind,
and where you're driving? You're driving good parts of Orange County where they should be tipping you.
Most of the time
I don't
most of the time I don't even talk to the customers. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you don't look like the type of person that talks to customers.
What do I look like, Lonnie? You haven't seen me in like 9 months.
Forever, right? We talk every week, but we haven't seen each other in forever.
I don't even know what Dolph looks like. Dolph, you still have hair?
Sort of.
Okay.
It's there. Kind of. We'll see.
Interesting.
I do need a haircut.
So I think this week we need to announce our winner of our prize that we gave away last week about the free trip to Vegas with $1,000 room.
And the winner is
Richard Puller.
Hey, you actually pronounced it right.
I know this time. Oh my gosh.
Good enunciation. I mean, you are doing a podcast. You really should, enunciate clearly.
Well, Richard, we want to congratulate you on your trip at the MGM Hotel with airfare, $1,000 spending money, $250 food and drink comp money from the King of Uber on February 30th and 31st. Okay. You do know we actually fooled a lot of people on that thing.
I was not even thinking about it.
Johnny, who are you talking
about? You, Lonnie. So by the way, everybody, after we finished our last podcast last week, Dolph and I were cracking up because Lonnie was actually really mad that she couldn't enter the contest.
That is not true.
We were laughing so hard, and then we wouldn't say anything to her, and she was getting really pissed off at us, but we didn't record any of it, but it was pretty funny.
Oh, man.
Ha ha ha. Anyway.
But yeah. So let's start off. What are we doing first, Dolphy?
Well, a little bit of updates. What about what's going on with AB5?
Well, I guess it's going to go into a vote pretty soon with our California senators about repealing AB5 because they're not repealing it because of us drivers. That's for damn sure. It's the musicians and I think hairstylists or other independent contractors, truck drivers, stuff like that. They're planning. A lot of them are leaving California. A lot of people's pay that, normally would get paid, $200-$300 a day are going down to, $15 to $20 an hour.
Well, I can tell you, as a musician, I'm actually more along the side of an exemption, not the repeal of AB5. Because I feel like AB5 is actually good to be there, but it depends on the job. So, like, if your job can actually pass the ABC test in terms of being an independent contractor, then your job should be considered a independent contractor, not an employer, an employee-employer situation.
I don't know if you guys read that article about Operation Luigi by Uber.
No.
So they had this all planned out, and this is why California is the only state that has the where the ride's going and about the estimate about how much you're going to make is because the Uber's just trying to get ahead of these things so that they don't qualify for the ABC test. I still think Lyft's not doing it because they're just stupid. They probably don't have the tech people to make that just for California. So I guess
they kind of do. I mean, honestly, they still have the ability to give us the how long the trip is and the direction. I mean, they're not going to give the exact.
Right, but I think the way that Lyft works is that their tech guys are doing, it's all for all of the United States rather than, separating by county and state and all those things. I don't know. That's just my assumption. But anyway, so I guess Uber had a secret thing going on. They called it Operation Luigi to do this for all the California drivers. And what they did, they even opened up a separate office so people could work on the technology so that us drivers here in California could see the destination and how much we're going to make off each ride. I still don't think it's perfected it yet. I know you get rides sometimes with no dollar amount, and so you have to figure out where you're at, where it's going, and then kind of make your own little guesstimation on how much you're going to make. I know the surges. Sometimes those prices are wrong. What I don't like about the surge thing, rather than, when the dollar amount shows up, you get that lightning bolt on the right-hand side of your app. I'd rather have them say what the surge is.
Yeah, I don't know what the reasoning behind it was. I have a feeling, well, maybe the excuse is that there's too much information, so let's not put that it's a 1.5 or a 2.0 surge. By the way, did you see that ride I showed you I got earlier?
No. All I saw was 1.5.
It was 1.5, and it was a 9-mile trip for $24. All right.
Wow.
And that was the ride of the day. And it sucked pretty much the entire day after that. So
that's what Richard Poehler said. Anyway.
But, but the thing is, though, I would actually prefer that AB5 still be in place, because if AB5 does go away, Uber is going to take away our ability to see where the ride's going.
Oh, that's not true. We can't make that.
Well,
assumption.
The thing is that that's the reason why they're showing us. They're not.
I know.
You think they're actually going to? But they want us to pick up the those $2 to $3 rides.
I know, but then you're gonna have another ton of crazy drivers that are gonna launch another protest and this and that and stuff like that.
Well, I guess maybe it might be a cycle, but we'll see. I mean, at this
it always happens. They do something good, and then we feel happy for a moment, and then they have to they do that backhand slap us upside. Mm-hmm. Yep, slap us upside the head.
Yeah. So, and like I said, I've always said this. Uber does not listen to drivers. They listen to the law.
What?
So you want the law on your side.
What?
Can't believe it.
Uber doesn't listen to us?
No.
That's crazy.
Oh. Uber doesn't care anything about you. That's what you taught me.
That is like cray talk.
No. Johnny, that's what you taught me when I first met you. You said you don't work for Uber. You make Uber
You
work
don't.
for you.
You what?
Right.
I didn't hear that last part. But it's true. I do. Let's see. We're gonna be coming into March, and thank God February is gonna be gone pretty soon because this month has just been absolutely horse crap. And it usually always is. It's the weekends are still the weekends, but the weekdays just suck for the full-time drivers. And usually my favorite convention, the Natural Food Expo, is usually in February, but they moved it to March 3rd to the 7th, which is, they'll start on Tuesday and it'll end on Saturday. So the tips about the Natural Food Expo is that, there's a lot of, in the mornings and afternoons on that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's a lot of short rides. At nighttime, there's a lot of people that go to dinner, and sometimes they go they go a little further. You just got to kind of get lucky. But I guess since we all are going to know where they're going, people are going to wait for the long rides. There's a lot of rides like downtown LA, Hollywood, Newport, Laguna Beach, because there's so many people coming in. There's rides everywhere. But since the coronavirus showed up, we're going to lose a lot of international people coming. And the international people, they don't use Lyft. They only use Uber. A lot of Koreans came, Chinese, Japanese, all the other Asian, even the fake Asian countries like Turkey and India, they would come too.
The fake country.
I don't know. They call themselves Asians. Turkey, come on. I mean, technically, yes, but you're really not Asian. You're Turkish. Anyway, so it should be interesting. I think all the U.S. Companies will be here. It's a great time to get free samples of healthy foods. And I think the two best days to work will be that Saturday and Sunday because a lot of people do leave on Saturday. And a ton more leave on Sunday. So that's where I will be in Anaheim. Or I like to call it Anna Slime, Anna Crime, my Disneyland Anaheim. That's where Jesse Luciano Garcia Gonzalez Lopez lives. I don't know if you guys know that. So that should be really interesting. With this coronavirus, with all the flights not coming into LA. Another thing is that, you've noticed that LAX has been really slow these days is because, there's a lot of Asian people, a lot of people from other countries not coming into LAX these days because people are scared about this virus because it's so deadly. The first known case, a case that showed up in Northern California today, but they don't know where the origin is. So that's kind of scary. If you guys have like Lysol or mask, you might want to wear it. I've noticed that maybe Uber is not giving me pings these days, not only because I'm declining calls, is because I'm Asian.
Well, you have your Asian name on there, don't you?
Do you?
No, I have Johnny on there. But I have my Asian picture on there. They probably think I'm Chinese, but I'm not Chinese. I'm Korean. And yes, no, we all do not look alike.
Well, if it's a tiny picture, that's less than half an inch, black people look like white people. I mean, come on.
What?
It's really hard to actually distinguish, the small picture that they have on the app of us. You really can't tell.
But anyway, this is my favorite convention of the year because there are a bunch of suits. I love them suits. They don't care about the price. They just care about convenience and getting somewhere quick. So it should be a good convention. Might not be as good as the years before, but this convention has been growing year after year after year. I remember when it started at 75,000 people, then it got up to 90,000 people, and then it hit over 100,000 last year. This year, I hope it's still 75 to 100,000 people. So what else is going on?
I believe you were talking about some scams going on. The scammers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not us drivers, right?
No, not the drivers.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, we might feel like scammers, but no. The people that are scamming the drivers.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have heard of this and seen this on the Facebook posts and stuff, but these idiots, assholes, people that, they don't work hard, they just try to steal other people's money. Now what they're doing is they're ordering a car and they're sending a text message to, call them, saying this is Uber support, please call, blah, blah, blah. They're asking for your
Terrible.
email and your phone number. They pretend like they're trying to, verify something, and they're going to give you like $100 or $200 bonus on your next paycheck, blah, 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 blah. And what they do is they go in and they go on the Uber app and they cash out with all that information that they have from you into their bank accounts.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And especially these days too, I guess, with the elections going on, these candidates are having all these robocalls and they're asking people to donate money to their campaign. And if you do, they ask you for your name, your address, blah, 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 your credit card number, and people are giving to them, and it's actually not the campaign calling.
Yeah, I'm actually not surprised.
Yeah. Man, these criminals, they're smart, man. You robocall enough people, and it's on an automated, thing. People that want to donate that press 1 and start giving out their information. I mean, they can steal a lot of people's money. And it's just, I don't know. I wish these assholes would just, get caught and go to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of, it's pathetic. I know none of our listeners are these kind of scammers. Well, maybe Jeff Maurer, but we'll let that slide. Yeah, so be careful out there. Uber will never call you. Uber will never ask you to verify information. They might just ask your name, and then that's about it.
So since we're going to be coming up to a very lucrative week, hopefully, weekend, with the...
well, not this weekend, next weekend.
Next weekend. The natural foods. Why don't we go over how Surge works? And especially now, it's kind of weird because, like you said, we can't see the multiplier.
Right. Yeah, the multipliers. It's always the same thing, but traffic's gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it better to just go for the rides that are more easily accessible to you, that you can get to, not necessarily waiting for the big 45 plus rides?
This is a tough one to answer. To each his own, because there's so many whores out there, ping whores that is. They're just going to take whatever, and they're going to bitch and complain that, getting to them took so long, getting out of there took so long, then they only went a certain amount of miles, blah, 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 blah. But, hey, what do I always say? It's part of the job. You accepted the ping. You go take it. I'll be honest with you, okay? I will be totally honest, and these conventions, when they're going on, I don't work it until Saturday and Sunday. Like, I don't go there early. Yeah, I don't go there early on Saturdays to take people to conventions. I go there in the afternoon. I wait for the long rides to come out with the surges, and then on Saturday night. And then I also wake up early Sunday morning and go there and no one's going to the convention. We're taking everyone to the airport.
Yeah, I guess it's because drivers want to have those hours of like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Right?
Yeah,
Monday to Friday.
But the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rides, I'm guessing there's going to be like 90% of them are going to be all short rides.
Yeah.
And then the people that you might get lucky on when it's surging are the non-convention goers that are there at Disneyland that need to get back home. Mm-hmm. And then you also need to be in the right place at the right time and get the right ping, and you're going to be fighting with all the other drivers. So a lot of luck and skill is going to have to be going into it. So, even though it's frustrating to be stuck in traffic and all that, just go learn it. Learn it, and then you can prepare yourself for the next convention that comes in. And just keep learning and learning and learning. Everyone can't be an expert master driver like me.
Yeah, and also, I guess, really, really try not to pick up and drop off on Catella right in front of the, in the no stopping zones and streets.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, or stop on the corner and let people out and block traffic, because you will get tickets for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, someone took a picture of that. Yeah, that bus stop area for
right
drop off.
Right by the convention. Yeah. So there was at one point they were telling us to drop off there, and then the next convention showed up and they took that sign away. Said then it came out to no drop offs and no pickups. So sometimes it's better to call your passenger and have them walk out to you if you can, depending where you're going to pick them up. But just anyway, just go out there and learn. We never know what the Anaheim traffic control is going to do. We don't know, we don't know those things until you work it a day or two, and then we might be able to post it up on our Facebook page and let everybody know.
Yeah, and also that that sign over on Harbor dropping off for Disneyland. It says it's like, what is it, $400 fine if you drop off there.
That's a lot. That's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was circulating in one of the other groups.
I see. All right, what else?
Your tip of the week.
Richard Puller? I actually don't. I don't know what to tell anybody. Right now, I guess my only tip that I have is that the mornings are not that great. It looks like the nighttime has more surges than the morning these days. So I don't know, guys. The only thing I can tell you right now, because it's still a slow season, and I still don't think it's going to pick up until the middle of March, when the Midwest people start going on their spring break. This is what Dolph does, and I completely 100% agree with this. If you get pings that are even a low dollar amount, if they're close to you, go ahead and pick it up. If it's far away, it's a low dollar amount. Those are the rides you want to just let go. But you just have to stay out there, grind it out, do the best that you can. Just be diligent.
Yeah, and like I said, you feed
the Uber algorithm.
Yes.
No, Dolphy, it's supposed to feed you. You don't feed it.
Yeah, but in these desperate times, it'll take care of you. Like I said, I think it doesn't matter if it's busy, it's busy. You're going to get pings. But if it's dead, they're going to give it to a better ping whore than you.
Oh, also remember, this is also the last weekend before everyone needs to make rent. So there's going to be a lot of more drivers out there than normal.
Oh yeah, right. This one's and especially since it's a short month. I mean, not as short as the other.
1 day comparatively, yeah. But just remember, you could always be like me and pay rent. Pay rent a month ahead of time. I mean, that's what I do. I always try to do it all the time.
Oh, sure. Let me just pull that out of my wallet.
You gonna pay my rent? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Anyway, until next week, thank you for listening to another episode of The King of Uber. Sorry that our voices and our excitement and our jokes is not as good as usual, but February's a very slow month.
You're not exciting, but I think that me and Lonnie are like, we're on it.
Whatever. Anyway, always remember to tip your drivers.
And don't be creepy.
And sit diagonally.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Vagina.
For more information about driving for Uber and Lyft, reach out to us on Facebook or visit our website at kingofuber.com.